Hello, this is Elena Motonono, and it's our tutorial 2 where I will quickly go over the 12 ways on how you can encourage people to sign up for your newsletter. The first strategy that I shared with you is the strategy of running free events, whether they are face-to-face or online, it doesn't matter. It would be great if you could manage two, but for some people, they prefer doing most of their activities online. A lot of other people have network and connection outside of their office, which is also great. But free events, the word free is definitely a magnet, and free events allow you to establish your expertise, share it freely with the people, and build that trust that people need to have in order to sign up. Fantastic opportunity. The second thing is guest posting. If you don't have your website, you can still create wonderful posts, and um, generally people that have well-known blogs have less time to um, provide materials for them. They have a lot of other things going on. So if you can create and write engaging, interesting posts, then um, as a footnote, you can always include a link to your list and people will sign up. And especially if they like your content, they will sign up. Interviewing people with larger audiences than yours is really a great way of bringing more audience leads onto your website, or um, you can get people to share your materials and obviously your link to your newsletter with others. So when you interview somebody that people know, they can easily trust you, and they can establish you can establish this rapport with them because they will look at you and they will say, well, if this person knows this person, they're probably really influential in their area. So it's quite beneficial for you. Creating content and sharing it for free is the foundation of any sort of marketing, but your content has to be excellent. If you have opportunities to put together guides, ebooks, or courses, start out with something small. Don't start out with a 15 lesson uh, strategy or plan or course. Try out something smaller, something that will help your students solve that one problem, and you will see how much feedback you will get from that. When you start out something really big, then you get quickly discouraged, and as a result, it may not give you as much traction um, as you want to, because once you get discouraged, your content really turns sour. You don't want that. You need to create incentives like e-courses or e-books or e-guides. Like I was saying, e-guides is something really small and manageable. You can do that. You can already probably have some content that you can repurpose into an e-guide. You don't really have to write things up from scratch. That's another important thing. If you have your content, blog posts, or once you start writing your newsletters, then you can build them together into a course or into another manual and repurpose it. It's a wonderful opportunity for you to continue getting more traction and sharing your expertise without really creating something from scratch, but probably adding on to something what you already have. Starting your blog or website may sound intimidating, but in fact it's not. You don't you shouldn't feel like you have to have all your ducks in a row from the get-go. So as long as you have your space that you call your blog and your About Me page, a place where people can contact you, that's a good place to start. Then you can add things as you go. Strategy number 7, promoting other people's content on social media. Guy Kawasaki, who is a, one of the venture capitalists in the Silicon Valley and a very well-known business trainer, among many other things. He was sharing that what in one of his articles, what you need to share on your social media. And his first proposal is that 80% of your content has to be somebody else's content. You might think it's counterproductive. How can I share somebody else's content and get more rapport and more um, involvement, engagement with my audience? But it really works this way. I started out my page on Facebook with just sharing my posts, and I noticed that the engagement was not as high as I wanted it to. And then I switched to sharing other people's content. What it allowed me to do is just be really free in what I share and not worry about not having my blog posts up there all the time. And what started happening, people would engage. I would not only share somebody else's content, but I would also thank somebody else for sharing maybe other content. It was amazing how that created a sense of community because people would respond to me and then they would in turn share my content. But I really wasn't doing that to get them to share my content. I was just sincerely liking what they shared, and I thank them for that on my page. That creates a really, really good response, good vibe about you, your brand, and it shows your audience that you're not out there just to shove your product down their throat. You're actually engaging into this community, and that will make them more likely to sign up when you ask them to do so. The next strategy is collaborations and partnerships. There is a lot of work that goes into it, but the results are wonderful. If you don't make money together, it's still okay because you will make a lot of subscribers together. Because when you come together with somebody for an event, then you share the load of email marketing and sharing this information with your audience. And you may have only 100 people, and this other person might have 5,000 people, and that will work great for both of you. You just need to decide strategically what you're promoting. For example, if I come together with somebody and I want to promote my accent training courses, the other person wants to promote her business courses, business English courses. So let's say when we come together for an event, I said, well, how about I interview you, or we do a class or a workshop where we will show to people how good accent is vital in business settings. And that gives me an opportunity to share some of my expertise and her some opportunity about her expertise, and then we give a chance to the people who watch this event to sign up to get free business English updates and free accent training updates. It's a win-win. Connected with that, you need to build up your audience using one social media, encourage people to sign up in different ways. What I mean here is sometimes people get so frustrated with so many social media networks that they just drop the ball on them. You have to be really active on one where your target audience is. If you are a business English teacher, then you probably want to put invest a lot of your time into LinkedIn. If you are more into sharing your content in a fun, educational way, then Facebook or Instagram might be a good outlet for you. So you need to decide your main social network, what it's going to be, and then share your materials on a regular basis. Also try to see how much is too much. It will be experimental, and eventually you will come to a decision that, well, when I first started out, for example, with Instagram, obviously it was my experiment, and I was immersing myself into it. I was posting 10 things during the day. It was a lot. I got to a point where I noticed that people were unsubscribing because I was probably polluting their thread. So I decided to go with fewer, cut them by two. And today I put like 3 or 4 posts a day, sometimes 2. Depends on how busy I am. So just use one social media and then maybe automate others. You don't have to be present everywhere. If you record videos and you're on YouTube, you can always put in the comments section or description, if you would like more content from me, please sign up. That's a wonderful opportunity to get people excited about what you have to offer and immediately make a decision. A lot of people give links to their paid courses, which may or may not be good. Sometimes people are ready to buy right away, other times they are not ready. And for those situations, it's best if you have a sign up for your free materials as opposed to your paid courses. Connect people with people on social media, personally invite them to join your network. I've done that using LinkedIn. You know how people like you or follow you on LinkedIn, and then when you see these notifications, I have a couple of days a week where I go on LinkedIn and I connect with these people. So depending on what they do, which I can immediately see, I tell them I would like to invite you to follow my updates for teachers, if they're online teachers or if they are people working in international areas and they're non-native speakers, then I invite them to follow my updates on accent training. So these personal messages that are probably like 4 or 5 lines long, and you can copy and paste them, are really, really powerful, and I noticed a lot of signups as a result of that. Finally, your last strategy is to share the links with your own network of friends, but you do so wisely. I've got some friends that really enjoy what I do, and I don't hesitate sharing this information with them, and they're always very supportive. I have other people that I have sensed can be envious of what I do, so you don't want people to bother people that way. And even though they're not necessarily your close friends, but they are maybe your Facebook friends, so you don't want to share that on Facebook and tell them to sign up if you feel like they may not necessarily be interested in what you do or if that irritates them. So you don't want to create negative feelings towards your brand. But it might be a great opportunity to let your friends know, because sometimes your friends might be out of the loop and then somebody asks them about, do you know somebody teaching English or doing this type of work? And if you're not on their radar, that is one of the reasons why you do email marketing, if you're not on their radar, they may not even think of you. So think strategically, write a series of things, what you can do this week to get people to sign up, and see what works and what doesn't work. And at the end of the week, I would like for you to share your experiences and your questions on our forum or in personal email. Thank you very much, and until next time.